Today we're gonna learn how to build AI agents that use ChatGPT for beginners. I'm gonna ask, I wanna read a mystery book to my entertainment agent, and the entertainment agent is gonna find other agent, in this case, the book specialist AI, that is giving me book recommendations and why this book. You can play with different prompts. There is 6 ChatGPTs working together behind this. What should I watch tonight? Giving me movie recommendations. Amazing. I'm gonna teach you how to build this if you don't know how to code. If you do know how to code, you can jump the first chapter. Okay, so with that intro, we're gonna take a look at how to create this. I put a detailed guide on what do you need to do in order to create them starting from scratch. This is for people who don't know how to code. If you already know how to code, please jump to the next section that is already categorized on your video. With that being said, the intro, it says that this repository is actually a basic guide on how to build AI agents. Keep in mind that I just finished this right now, so it's fresh out of the oven. We have here, we're going to use Python and OpenAI Agents SDK, OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT. We're going to connect ChatGPT through code today. I'm going to make it very easy, believe me. And here we have what we need. We need an OpenAI API key. So keep in mind that an API key has a cost. So you have to put your credit card and pay for credits. I pay for like $10, and that lasts for a long time because the small models, GPT 4.1 mini, for example, costs 40 cents per token, or you can see tokens as words. We're going to keep it simple. If you want to go a little more advanced, ask ChatGPT the difference between tokens and words. With that said, you get your API key. You can go to Google, you can put OpenAI API key, or you can get the same link if you click over here. As you can see here, this is my OpenAI platform, and it says that these are all the keys that I have created. With that, now we are going to take a friendly step-by-step beginner guide. And first, you need Cursor, VS Code, or Windsurf. This is something that you need to edit your code. If you don't have it yet, just go to Google, put a Cursor, and then go ahead and download it. Let me do that with you. Cursor.com. Then once you're here, just download it to your computer, install it, and then once it's installed, you're gonna go ahead and we're gonna open it. When you open Cursor, it's gonna give you an option that says open folder. I already had a folder open here, but just click open folder. If not, go to the top left and then file and then open folder. With that, we're gonna go to this folder that I just created. Once we are inside of the folder, is something that you're gonna create later. I'm gonna show you. And then I'm going to open the terminal. So I'm gonna go to the top. I'm gonna create new terminal, to the top on terminal. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clone my repository that you can think about this as a folder. So let's do that right now. Okay. So once that is done, I'm going to clone my repository first. There you go. So how do you know? All right, so you're gonna come here in clone, HTTPS, that's what we're gonna use. And now git clone and just paste it, right? Okay, so we go ahead and we clone it. And there you go. The only thing it does is grabs the folder from the internet and puts it in the folder in your computer locally, right? Now let's jump into this folder and make sure you are actually jumping in that folder first. So we're going to change the directory, right? Because this is one directory, this is one directory, but right now my directory is YouTube. So I need to go to the directory inside of it, OpenAI. So I'm going to put change directory and I'm going to go to OpenAI. I click tab, enter. Perfect. So now I'm inside of this folder. Once I'm inside of this folder, and keep in mind that all of this is in the intro, the README file. So everything that I have told you is already each one of these steps, right? We already downloaded Cursor, we already cloned. Now we are already doing the cd command, right? To make sure you're in the right folder. And then now we're gonna create a new file with our credentials, our keys, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. I'm gonna come here to my folder of agents. I'm gonna create a new file that I'm gonna call .env. There you go. That's pretty much the other one I had here, but I have here my credentials that I don't want to erase, but you're not going to have this one, right? You can only have the one inside of your folder. Doesn't matter if you have to, no. I'm going to copy that. And here I'm going to put my original OpenAI API key. So in the process that we did before, where we get the API key, you're going to copy that and you're going to paste it over here. Let's go ahead and do that. If you already did it, no worries, you can generate another one. Now we are gonna go ahead and copy our API key over here. Is a lengthy one. You're gonna choose what model is gonna be the default model that we're gonna play with. So in this case, I'm gonna use GPT 4.1 Nano. If you wanna see the models, what kind of models you can use, I'm gonna guide you through that as well. So now we're gonna keep moving on the step by step. I'm saying now in the terminal, you're gonna install the required dependencies. Dependencies is just we're gonna start creating our environments and we're gonna start installing what we need. So first we're gonna create that, right? Python, create my virtual environment. It says, oh, Python have not been found. So the only reason is because then I have to use Python 3. This is a whole different thing, but the easiest way is if it doesn't work with Python, just try Python 3. All right, boom. Perfect. So now the virtual environment is created. As you can see here, now there is a new folder that is virtual that is going to be kind of like running your whole project. Now with that, we're going to activate the environment. And how do you know if it's activated? Is because this already shows in my terminal, as you can see, that .venv. All right, so now it says that we have to install the requirements. So what are even the requirements, right? What is happening here? So we're gonna go in requirements. This is a file that has all the platforms, or if you want to see them as libraries or frameworks that you're gonna use. So I'm gonna use all the library of code from OpenAI, for example, and OpenAI agents, because that's what we're gonna do today. And I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as I can. So we're gonna install that, and then pip install, that is normally the command, but because the previous one was Python 3, I'm assuming this is also gonna be pip 3. Might be wrong. Let's see. Okay, beautiful. So now the whole amount of packages are getting installed in your computer, pretty much like downloading an app. Now, while this happens, let's go to the README. This is actually the same file that is over here. I pushed all the code from here to here. This is just the markdown format that once is run looks like this, but it's pretty much, this is the source. So perfect, we already installed the requirements. Now it says we're gonna paste in the terminal our OpenAI key, right? So now I'm gonna go to, so you can see. So we're gonna copy only this section because the API key, I don't want it. And now I'm gonna copy my API key that you should have in the environment file. So you're gonna copy only this, but I'm gonna copy mine. Perfect. So now I just copied mine into the terminal. You might be thinking why the terminal is like that. Is because I don't want you to see my key. Keep in mind that that generates a cost, right? Now, how can you do that? Is just clear. You type that, enter, and you clear the whole terminal. That looks nice and clean and brand new again. So I already exported my OpenAI key to the environment. Now this is going to explain you what are we going to do. We can see them as lessons or short very lessons. Version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. We're going to build a basic AI agent, AI agent with organized outputs, pretty much a template for the response. Then we're going to give an agent also some tools to use. And finally, we're going to do handoffs that we're going to have an orchestrator agent and specialized agents. Very fun. These are literally the basics of AI. You don't even have to learn the basics of the conversations of LLMs and jump straight to agents, which is pretty fun. With that being said, now we are going to run the first agent, right? I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to come to the basic agent file. In the basic agent file, I put here a title, pretty much we can call it, like, of this word of this file that is written in Python code. Now I'm saying this agent is a regular talk to ChatGPT, just a prompt and a response. So one-on-one game, right? First, we're gonna import what we need for this Python. I'm gonna go through this normal because there is a lot and I don't wanna make the video too long. But pretty much here you have what do you need. You're gonna load the environment that you already have in the terminal and all the environment variables that are saved here. And then here we're gonna call agent. This is gonna be our main agent. In this example, we're gonna have only one agent. The name is gonna be assistant. Instructions, think this as assistant prompt. You are a helpful assistant. And then model, we're gonna use GPT 4.1 Nano. Where can you find these models? You can find it in OpenAI Playground because you already have a developer account and an API key. You can just come straight over here and already play with the model while it uses your API key, pretty much. So if you want this model, you can come here and you can learn how it is. But today we're gonna make it a step further, and this is just a regular conversation. We're gonna make agents. So the code is a little different, but it's the same purpose. Right, so now where can you find the models? You come to docs, models, and here they tell you everything about what models can you use. For example, in this case, we're using GPT 4.1 family. And then for example, here we have 4.1 Nano, that is the one I'm using. How do you know what name to put here? You jump in the model, go all the way down, and it's telling you exactly, you can use this name for all the models up to date, or this date only for the model that was released today, because this keeps upgrading, right? With that, now we are gonna jump into the main function. Here what we're doing is that we are saying the function of Python called main is gonna run the agent over here. And this is the prompt. I'm telling ChatGPT, say, hello, my name is ChatGPT. This is a test. Now add something you would like to tell the user. This is, of course, just a prompt because I'm talking to ChatGPT. And then your whole output is max 30 words because I don't want to spend a lot of money on my API, even though I have like a million words, if we can say them like that. Now, here we are just running the function of main. So how do we do that? We go back to the README here. We're going to run, enter, and voila, right? This is ChatGPT communicating to you through the terminal of your computer. There you go. What ChatGPT wants to tell us today. I enjoy assisting you with information and learning new things. Feel free to ask anything. Perfect. This is GPT 4.1 Nano. It's quick and it's cheap. This is the best one to test. Now we have run the first one, basic agent. Let's put it up a level. Now we have level 2, right? We're gonna build an agent that has a template for the answers. We do the imports, the same thing. We load the environment again. Now we load the model that we saved here as well. But I'm gonna repeat it here. I'm gonna use Nano for this one as well. And this is the class. I'm saying this is the template for the answer that I want you to have. This is a little explanations with hashtags. That's just how the comments go. And I'm saying you're gonna give me a destination, duration, days, budget, activities, and notes. And my agent over here again, pretty much as you can see, is the same structure of agent, name instructions model, name instructions model. This agent is going to be called travel agent. The system prompt is you're a travel agent. You can create travel itineraries. You are always helpful, informative. And when you create plans, please consider this. What model am I going to use? The model that I put over here, GPT 4.0 Nano. Actually, this was going to be a problem because this model doesn't exist. It's 4.1, not 4.0. Perfect. Okay, so those are the instructions. That is just another prompt. And then I added in this level 2, I added output type, travel plan. That is the template I created for the response, right? Perfect. Now we're gonna go to the main function. Here is a little different because this one is running a function synchronously, and now we're gonna run asynchronously. So it's just gonna be more things happening in parallel. Is the easiest way to see this pretty much. We're gonna make the main function again, the one that we did in version 1. And then we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put 2 queries. So 2 prompts are gonna be sent to the agent. I'm planning a trip to Dubai. I have 5,000. I'm planning a trip to London. I have 2,000. Then here we're just gonna pretty much decorate the answer. We're gonna say you're gonna print the equal sign 50 times, and then you're gonna run the agent the same way that we did before. And then here we're passing the query that are these queries over here, or the prompts. And then we're gonna print a little emoji. We're gonna say the travel plan is for, and then we're gonna pull the answer of ChatGPT, because remember that we said you are always gonna give me a destination. Well, now there is a city already saved in the destination section of the template. That's the good part about the structure outputs. So now I'm gonna put destination dot upper. So now I'm gonna put that destination. So what he's gonna do is gonna give me travel plan for, and the next word is gonna be whatever is saved in the destination folder or variable, that is the one over here. So, and then we do the same with budget, we do the same with activities, duration days. We're just printing the word the duration, and then pulling whatever is saved in this variable of duration days. That is also part of the template. That's how actually we get it. And here we run the function. So let's go ahead. Let's go to our README again. Copy, paste, and that's it. Now the agent has started. As you can see, he printed 50 times the equal sign, and then he says, I want to visit London for a week. This is just the prompt that we had, the query. And the final response, this is what ChatGPT gave us in each bucket. So as you can see here, it says that destination, so travel plan for, and whatever was here, and this is London, and here you go, London. So perfect. You know, the agent really did a great job. Both prompts, you can see first answer and then second answer for the second prompt. We have budget, we have duration days. This is one of the best things. Now we're going to jump into our third one. Let's clear our terminal. Clear, enter. Perfect. Third agent now has tools. We're going to give the agent some things to play with. This is an agent that is going to help you to cook something. We're going to do our imports, load environment. We load the model. This is the template for how the answer is going to look. I'm looking for a name of the recipe. I'm looking for cooking time, minutes, difficulty level, ingredients, and instructions in a list. That's why I'm putting here list. If you have any questions related to the code, I'm gonna leave a AI trained in this video that will be able to answer questions for you. That is trained on ChatGPT. I'm gonna go through that at the end. Now we have function tool. This is where we add the new pretty much block on this code that is for giving tools to the agent. So here I'm going to give the agent the function. I'm defining a function here in Python, get ingredient info, and then the input is an ingredient that is a text string, and the output of this function is also a string text. Here I'm telling the agent what this tool is even for. So this is natural language, but this goes straight to your ChatGPT agent to say, oh, when should I use this tool? Oh, to get basic information about a cooking ingredient. Here is just a very simple function. You can play with this, put an API key connected to the internet, millions of possibilities. But basic function, I'm just giving these ingredients all the time. And then finally, these are just some printing for how the function is going to be. Perfect. So now we are in the recipe agent. This is the name of the agent. This is a friendly cooking assistant. And what this agent can do, I'm telling the agent these are the things that you can do. And if you need to get recipes, you can actually use your tool, get ingredient info. You can put that actually in the same prompt here. You can say just call your tool get ingredient info. For this time, it already knows because has access to tools and can make the decisions on its own. But you can do it if you want. Model, we're going to use GPT 4.1 Nano. Tools, we're going to use the only tool that we have that we declared over here. You can make more tools if you want. And output type is going to be a recipe recommendation. What is this? is the template of how we want the answer to be. All right, so once we are all done, main function, this is exactly what we saw in version 2, just with a different agent. All right, so now we're gonna run it, readme, copy, terminal, paste. There you go. We are now asking, I have chicken and rice at home. What's an easy recipe I can make? And then it's giving us the recommendation. Let's go back to the template. And then it's giving us the recommendation. As you can see, is printing recipe recommendation and this emoji. And then whatever word comes next is whatever is saved under the recipe name. And that recipe name is part of the template. The number one is actually a string of text. So it's just text. And that's it. So it says recipe recommendation, simple chicken and rice, and then it keeps going. And the next prompt is, oh, I'm a complete beginner. So how was it able to say the chicken and rice is because it's part of the tools, as you can see. Now, let's move on to the version 4 and last one. We're going to see here how to have different agents working together. And this is the beautiful part of having agents. So think about this as a manager and employees. A manager will be an orchestrator agent, and the employees will be the specialized agents. In this case, we're going to build entertainment agents. We do our imports, load the environments. In this case, now I have 3 different templates because I have 3 different agents. Now in the tools, I have get book information, which what it does is gets information about books. And these are going to be the 3 possibilities, right? This is the database of the book tool. We have a get movie the same way. And then we start our specialized agents or the AI employees. Here, this agent is going to be called book specialist. The description of what this agent does for the manager or for the orchestrator to know what is the function of this one, we declare here. Is an expert that recommends books. Instructions, this is the prompt of behavior to the agent. You're a friendly book specialist that loves helping people. Use the get book info tool to find books. And then mark the behavior of how this is going to go. The personality of the model, if you want to say it like that. So model, tools, the get book tool, and then output type, book recommendation. That is, again, the name of the template. Book recommendation that we set up here. Code runs from up to down. So that's why we go in that way. The same with agent. Now this agent, this is a book specialist. This agent or employee is a movie specialist. So he's an expert that recommends movies based on your preferences. This is for the orchestrator or for the manager or for the main. You are a movie buff that loves helping people, blah, blah, blah. Get movie info tool to find movies specifically. With what model is this going to be? GPT 4.1 Nano. But keep in mind, in real life, you can have this one GPT 4.0. This one could be GPT 4.5. Or you can keep playing with the GPT 4.1 Mini, however you like. And this one has a different tool. Get book has this one. Get movie has this second agent or employee. And then the output type is going to be the name of the template for the answer. Now, the main agent or the orchestrator agent or the manager agent. This is the main brain of your playbook of the AI agents. So this is the main one. I'm going to say the name, the instructions for this agent, what it can do. And then we are also going to say, like, if someone asks about books or movies, then hand them off to the right specialists or agents or employees. For general questions, give friendly advice. Model, here you can use a more intelligent model, like some could be O3 or a reasoning model. And then tools, we're not going to give any tools to this agent. But for handoffs, this is the only agent that has handoffs. So we're going to say the handoffs means who can you give and distribute the job to. You have a book agent under you and a movie agent under you. And the output type is the template, right? So we're gonna try this last one. Clear, run into Python, readme, Python 4. The only thing you're doing is saying, hey, I'm gonna use Python, kind of like call Python or activate Python if you wanna say it that way, and activate these before Python. I'm just putting exactly the name, right? Query, I want to read a good mystery book, and there you go. I just added this little thingy that let us know if it handed off to a specialist or handled it on its own. In this case, it handed it off to a book specialist because I'm literally asking that I want to read a good mystery book. And then this is the response of the book specialist. And then the second prompt, recommend me a funny movie to watch tonight, and he handed off to the movie specialist. So that's pretty much it. Finally, this is kind of like the bonus. We're gonna run Streamlit. This is something a little more advanced, but if you made it until here, you're gonna love it. Let's copy the Streamlit. This is pretty much Streamlit is just an app. Pretty much I'm putting all the code that we saw before in V4 into a user interface. I'm gonna just run really quick. This is just for the style. Okay. Now we're gonna paste Streamlit, run app py instead of Python. Now I'm running a new app called Streamlit, and then we are saying run, and this is the name of the file. Let's enter. Perfect. Now automatically it opened a URL on my browser. This URL pretty much means that you're connecting to your local machine. And then this is our app pretty much. So as you can see here in the bottom, it says build with Streamlit and OpenAI Agents. It's just what it prints here. It's using the Streamlit code that is a little different. We're not gonna see that today. Now we're gonna try these examples. We have this on the left. Here is the agent. I wanna read a mystery book, get a recommendation. Now it's spinning up, finding agents, calling the manager agent, and then the manager agent called the specialist agent book specialist, as you can see. And that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, please come to the bot. Once we finish, I'm gonna add to this readme, I'm gonna add the bot. Now you come in here. This is the page that is gonna is running. If you wanna know how this was built, just come to files and the code is over here. But back to the bot. So what can you ask the bot? Let's actually ask the bot. This is using GPT 4.1 mini. So it's a little more intelligent than 4.1 nano. Why would I use different models? First of all, speed and intelligence. When you come to the model section, it tells you this one is very fast, but intelligence, 2 points. How about O3? This is already like 5 points of intelligence, the highest, but it's very slow, right? Pretty much. So what can I ask you? And the bot said, hey, I'm AI Academy here to support you. Perfect. It can help us in understand the basic of the agent number 1. So it knows the code of this one, how to set up your environment, how to download everything that is on the README. Everything that is on this README file, the bot knows by heart, and all the code of the V1. So if you have any questions, how to set up, or any question about this video, use the bot. Also, make your comments if you want. I will be happy to help you if you're rather a human than a bot. Streamlit anymore, you can just type Ctrl+C in your terminal, and that kills the serving in the local browser. So if you restart it, it's not going to work. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day.